I'm going to say a very important thing which everyone should listen who is into zombie games. A good zombie game is a game which has inbuilt flight or fight mechanic. That means a developer does not tell the players whether to flee or fight the zombies. It is the player's choice to decide if they have to fight the zombies or flee from the place. As long as that mechanic is in the game, then it is a good zombie game. Toxic Commando is built upon a power fantasy based upon the abilities where you kill all the zombies. It removes the flee mechanic from the game, and that is why that is a bad game. If you remove the abilities from Toxic Commando, it suddenly becomes a decent game because suddenly you are faced with a choice to make whether to flee or fight the zombies. Every zombie game which came out in the last 20 years was a good game when it had a flight or fight mechanic. For example, Dying Light, Left 4 Dead 2, even World War Z when it came out had the flight or fight mechanic. But in the recent years, it became more of a power fantasy game where you are immortal in the game, you can kill all the enemies, you do not need teammates. And that is where a zombie game fails because you made it a power fantasy. Power fantasy does not work in a zombie game. A zombie game should be horrorish, horror type where you go like, oh shit, I have to run, or I can't fight, or something is happening. That is where zombie game peaks and the gameplay peaks. When you make a zombie game into power fantasy, it does not work. Stop making the argument of buffing every weapon and completely ruining the balance of a zombie game. Killing Floor did the same mistake. It added the abilities, it made the Killing Floor franchise into a power fantasy, which does not work. Killing Floor is not a power fantasy. It is about the grittiness, it is about the horror feeling which you get with your teammates while standing together and fighting a bunch of Zeds. The original Killing Floor was such a beautiful game, such a good game that I still play Killing Floor 1. Toxic Commando is such a bad video game that I could go on and make a 10-hour long video explaining all the bad aspects in all of their video games. But neither do I have the will nor the time to make a long video in explaining every single bad game design and aspects. Even if I make a video like that, nobody is going to improve on it. Nobody is going to listen to me. Saber Interactive does not listen. The entire communities of all the video games are just brain dead and inferior. They don't understand how to play a video game and how to make a video game. So the state of video gaming right now, especially zombie games, zombie horde games, is in such a bad state that you can't do anything other than make a short video explaining the major flaws in the video game.
What the devs should be asking is, does every class have a reason to exist, a real reason to level, and a reason to bring on higher difficulty?
There is no class identity in Saber games. There is no role playing. If you look at World War Z or Space Marine 2, you would know that you can use any class and do whatever the rest of the classes can do. That's how it is in Saber games. There is no hardcore role playing like in Killing Floor. And that's the same thing in Toxic Commando. You can combine 4 medics, 4 strikers, 4 defenders and play. Why is the medic regenerating ability by killing the zombies? That's not the medic's job. The medic's job is to heal teammates. The job of killing has to be done by the striker. But the medic is getting the ability regen by killing. So the medic is competing with the strike class for the kills. That doesn't make any sense. Why is the defender giving overheals instead of the medic? That doesn't make sense either. So you see, like, the class identity is all over the place. There is no real thought put into this game. They just woke up one day, drank vodka and made whatever game they wanted to make.
Solo support and quality of life. Now, I know some people are going to say, it's a co-op game, just play with people. Sure. I'd also like every friend group to magically have 4 matching schedules, stable internet, no kids, no jobs, no bedtime, no spouse aggro. If I can only have fun when the full crew is online, then the game is fighting everyone's calendar. Bots need to be more useful. They need to help with objectives better, interact with important pickups better.
Are you playing an online co-op game for the first time? Because if you don't have your friends to play at the time when you want to play, then you can just find randoms in public games. Or you can create your own Discord server and invite other people to play with you. Or you can invite them through your Twitch streams or YouTube streams. Or you can join the official Discord server, which I don't really recommend, but you still have that option to do. Or you can create more friends on Steam and play with them. There are a lot of options. The only problem is that nobody is playing this game because this game is trash. The bots do need an improvement, but they shouldn't get too stronger than human players that you never need human players to play with. So what happens if the bots are too strong is that you are never going to need human players to play with. Like in Painkiller game, like you will just play with bots all the time because every time a human player joins, he's weaker than a bot. So he's less helpful than a bot, and you never want to have a human player in a team because he's just going to be weak. So that shouldn't be the case. The bot needs to repair the vehicle and refuel the vehicle because those are menial jobs which are boring. So the bot needs to do that. Also, the bot needs to be able to kill the zombies around them fast. They shouldn't be able to take forever to kill one zombie around them because that is really annoying when there are too many zombies around them and you have no idea what is going on, and you suddenly get hit by a zombie which the bot failed to kill. And that happens a lot. The bot shouldn't get OP, but they should be able to repair your vehicles and kill the zombies around you. That's all they need to do. And nobody's going to mention that the matchmaking system sucks in this game. There is no server list, so you cannot see who you are joining. They cannot see that you are joining them. When you join the hub, you get a loading screen. If the server host leaves and the host passes on to someone else, there is a loading screen. If the new host leaves, there is another loading screen. If you leave, then there is a loading screen for the players who are in your lobby. So this is a loading screen simulator.
The new content is good, and it's definitely a real step forward.
If you put a strawberry on poop, it doesn't become edible. It is still a poop. The core fundamental gameplay design of this game sucks. There is no replayability. There is no balance. There is no cooperation. There is no modding. There is no offline mode. Everything sucks. From skill trees to matchmaking, anti-cheat system. There is no anti-cheat, so you can find cheaters all the time in the public games. And the community also sucks. So why should anyone bother? If you add any content to this game, you're just going to play it for the 2 days and move on to other games. I have no reason to install this game tomorrow to play it when the update drops because I've done everything in the PTS server.
For right now, I will say this is PTS content, so things can and probably will change before the patch goes live.
No, it won't be different. It will be the same as the PTS thing. There will be no change other than maybe a few minor bug fixes. Other than that, it will be the same as the PTS. Whatever you play, there is no reason to play this game, mark my words.
The new weapons are the easiest win for me. They feel good, they have weight.
No, they don't. They are good in terms of damage, but they don't have any weight.
Standout for me is going to have to be the lever action rifle. Feels great at medium range, holds up at distance, works really well closer than you'd expect.
No, it doesn't. The lever action gun in this game, the repeating rifle from World War Z, which is actually good in World War Z, but in this game it is actually bad. It doesn't do as much damage as the sniper rifle, so there is no reason to use it. And also it sounds horrible. The repeating rifle, which is the same variant in World War Z, sounds much better than the lever action gun. I don't have the PTS game right now to compare, but I will maybe do a comparison video of all the weapons from World War Z and Toxic Commando, and I will show you that the repeating rifle in World War Z is much better gun than whatever garbage they have made in Toxic Commando. But this guy has never played World War Z, so he wouldn't know this. Just because the gun has some cowboy action reloading animation doesn't make it good. It has to be good in all aspects like sound design, damage, stats, and it has to have purpose. It doesn't have any. I don't know why anyone will use a lever action weapon in Toxic Commando.
The energy weapons, they add variety without feeling like garage-built sci-fi noisemakers held together by caffeine and bad decisions.
You are actually right this time. They are actually garage-made noisemakers held by caffeine and bad decisions. This game is not balanced to use any other weapon than the sniper rifles on instant difficulty. If you want to use other weapons, play on lower difficulty. That's about it. This is how the new sniper rifle sounds in Toxic Commando. Now I will show you how a real AWP sniper rifle sounds in a real video game.
Can easily become the thing that you only pull out when your primary runs dry and the game's already filing your death certificate.
The game might have filed its own death certificate because nobody plays this game. The plasma pistol is kind of good, but it doesn't make sound when you hit a zombie.
The new melee weapon, that one's a little more complicated.
It would be complicated if there was a melee system in this game, but there is no melee system. You should never use any melee weapon on the insane difficulty because you will die. I never use melee weapon in my entire runs of true solos. You can watch it. The melee system sucks. The melee system in World War Z sucks. The melee system in Space Marine 2 sucks. The melee system in Toxic Commando sucks. Saber Interactive does not know how to create a melee system. That is a fact. And I hope you realize this, otherwise it is going to be too late. You cannot melee in Saber Interactive games. Point.
The forklift, however, is where I get less generous. I do not think it was a great idea to market the forklift as a new vehicle in the same breath as the 6x6. Just quick drive this over there moment. I wouldn't advertise this like we're getting a second major vehicle.
Well, that's because you don't know Saber Interactive. Welcome to Saber Interactive Games, where we lie all the time. We have lied for 7 years. We lied in World War Z about fixing all the bugs. We lied in Space Marine about changing parry windows, and we are going to lie and mislead people into adding new vehicles into Toxic Commando, but they are never gonna be used as much. Congratulations.
The trial system is pretty interesting for retention. It gives us a reason to come back in, check the board, complete some objectives, and keep working towards something beyond just running the same missions, because we like violence and we've apparently got unresolved issues.
Get the fuck out of here, you white American piece of shit from United States of America. You are the most bloodthirsty individuals which I have ever seen in any of the country I visited. You and your government have bombed several countries in the past. Japan has been bombed, Korea has been bombed, Vietnam has been bombed, Cambodia has been bombed, Iraq, Iran, the list goes on. And you are telling everybody that you don't have issues with violence and all. Get the fuck out of here. A white American from United States of America has no moral authority or high ground to tell that they are the non-violent people and they don't have violence issues, when this is the only country in the entire world with a lot of weapons. All of their houses and all of the people have weapons all the time and they start killing. You have no idea how many mass shootings and mass school shootings are happening in the United States of America. That's how it is. Like, they are the violent people, and this guy is coming here lecturing other people that they don't have violence issues. Are you joking? The current president is a pedophile. The entire American plutocracy is run by pedophiles. The guy who harassed everyone in World War Z aftermath was a pedophile from Florida. So there is a pattern here.
A Cape Coral man could spend the next 80 years in prison for having child porn. William Toko Jr. was convicted of 10 counts of child porn. Back in 2022, he was reported to law enforcement in Texas by a gamer who saw that he was sharing the disgusting images. The tip was then sent to Cape Coral police, who arrested him.
And in spite of having those violence issues, Americans are never good in video games. Like in World War Z Aftermath, in Toxic Commando, in Space Marine 2, in Doom and Doom Eternal, all of the good players are European or Asian. They were never Americans. Like, even Canadians are better than Americans. Like, that's the fact. Like, in all video games. Just ask a question. Why are there black people in the Americas? Shouldn't they be in Africa? Exactly. Because these white people brought black people from Africa to do all the dirty work and get wealthy. That's how this guy is wealthy, because he inherited all his wealth from his forefathers who are wealthy because of slavery. And this is the problem. They don't admit it. Do you see many black people playing Space Marine 2, Toxic Commando, World War Z and getting good at it? No, right? Because they are being subjugated in their own country because of these white people, and they refuse to admit it, but that is the case. Black people cannot be good in gaming in any other situation because the white people are subjugating them in their own country. Even after 200 years, they are still the slaves of white people, and Americans will not accept this. But this is the case. As a foreigner, I see it from outside how they are subjugating and disintegrating their entire communities and dividing them into white and black people. It is awful. And this guy and nobody from the United States of America has any moral authority to say that they are somehow good and others are inferior. Get the fuck out of here.
Some of these trials push you into using weapons and items that maybe you've ignored.
So instead of fixing the balancing issue of the game so players don't ignore all the equipment and all the other weapons other than the sniper rifle, is that you are now going to force players to use them so that they can unlock certain skins and whatnot. That is not how you fix the balancing issue. You actually fix the balancing issue by balancing the game so that every single equipment and every weapon has a purpose in the game, so that people feel the need to use them rather than being forced to use them because they have to unlock certain things and do their homework.
But if daily objectives require us to run multiple maps with different loadouts just to finish them all, then people aren't going to call that replayability. They're going to call that homework.
But this actually is a homework. Can you not see this? Dailies, weekly, seasonal, week 1, week 2, week 3. What is all this nonsense? This is a homework where you have a sheet and you have weekly, daily objectives which you are forced to do. Otherwise, you run out of the time and you don't get those challenges. I don't know how it's going to be, but this is exactly how I used to do my homework when I was in the school. Do math, week 1 math, week 2 English, week 3 geography. That's how it is. You know, when this shit wouldn't be a homework, when it would not have a time limit and it would happen automatically, it would unlock automatically just by playing the game without ever looking into it. Because then the game would be balanced and every weapon, every equipment would have a purpose in the game to use it for fun, and it would have viability rather than being completely redundant and being gimped by the sniper rifle.
So let me know. Is this enough to keep us all around? Or do we still need a horde mode, better events, shorter maps?
I don't think we need any more stuff from Saber Interactive. I had enough. I had enough for 8 years. I had suffered enough for 8 years and I can't do it anymore. This feels like torture, you know, like whatever they are doing. This entire game is a scam, by the way. It's a quick cash grab by Saber Interactive, but there is no content in it. They didn't put any thought into making this game. They just copy pasted stuff from Left 4 Dead, from World War Z, from Mud Runner, and squashed into one video game which does not function at all. That's how it feels like. And now for player retention, they are going to add some grind trials and all those so that people can use other weapons so that they don't need to balance the game. I haven't touched a lot of topics like enemy design, which is really bad. The map design is mediocre. The skill trees are just absolutely horrendous. The medic is a huge problem in all the Saber games. Like Focus Entertainment are allowing cheating in Toxic Commando and cheaters are running everywhere. Like you can read all the Discord server. Like people are reporting cheaters and they don't really care. And they themselves say that it is fine to cheat in a PvE game. Like who cares about this game when it is not a PvP game? My only purpose right now is just to humiliate these people for their opinions. And that's what I'm going to do because I feel tortured with all this bad game design and bullshitting scam gameplay and cash grabbing other people. Like, I don't like it. It's immoral and it's bad. There is no difference between these people and a pedophile. But yeah, in Mud Runner, in Snow Runner, there is modding. You can add 80s vehicles to make the game more retro. And you could have done that in Toxic Commando, but they are not going to do it. So I will upload some music videos here and there. Otherwise, I am not sure if at all if I am going to build a community because I don't see a video game where I could. Because all video games are bad. I wish there was a good game. I wish we could go back in 2000s and play Left 4 Dead 2 again. I wish it was the case so I can build a community. But that's not going to happen because all of these morons are pathetic. And they don't know anything about video gaming or video game design. They are not even criticizing the developers at all for their bullshit scam gameplay cash grab design.